Please help me give a warm Erie welcome to Walter Trout.
All right, how y'all doing out there, Erie? What a beautiful day for a gig. Now, I'm just going to start off here by telling you that a week ago, I was walking off the stage. I went to grab the railing down there in Texas, and I broke my pinky. About 5 days ago, they put 2 screws in it, so I'm only going to play with 3 fingers. It might mean a few less notes, okay? Happy to be down here this afternoon. What a beautiful day for a gig out here. Good to see y'all. I'm happy to be anywhere, to be honest. Life is good. Now, this song is off our most recent album. The album is called Survivor Blues, and I went back through the very rich history of the blues. And I tried to find some songs, forgotten songs. I call them forgotten treasures. Songs that were worthy of being resurrected, brought back to life, and presented to you, because I don't want them to be forgotten. This song is by the late, great Jimmy Dawkins, and I think he captured the essence of the blues. It's called Me, My Guitar and the Blues. I don't worry about tomorrow. I know that every day stands on its own. I don't worry about tomorrow. I know that every day stands on its own. Tomorrow will still be here, but we could all be dead and gone. And I don't worry about you, baby. No, I don't worry about you no more. Don't worry about you no more, baby. I don't worry about you no more. I know that you don't love me, and now I know I've got to go. I know I got to go. I got to leave you, baby. Because I know I paid my dues. Oh, yeah, yeah. don't worry about you no more, baby. Because I know I paid my dues. But now that you don't love me, it's just me and my guitar and the blues. My guitar, I'm gonna play it for you now. Whew. Man, that song destroys me. I don't know if you could tell, but I left a couple of notes out there. I hope that was all right. But, you know, I got to get back to Earth after that one because that took me out in the ozones. And the only way I'm going to get back is if we play a little bit of rock and roll, if that's all right. Let's do Out of Control. 1, 2, 3. Something that I can't explain. with my guitar. Well, that brought me back to earth. Whew. Well, you know, when I write songs, I like to write songs about stuff I know about or people that I know or things that have happened. And some years back, I had this buddy, and he fell in love with this girl, and he fell hard. He fell all the way. And they were kind of an item for a little while, and then she just dumped him. She just dumped him overnight. And he came to one of my gigs, a good buddy, and he sat right in the front row like this. And I felt so bad for him. So I said, I got to write a song for this guy. I never told him it was about him, but it's called You Got a Broken Heart. a broken heart, and you don't know why. You're feeling so alone. All you do is cry. Every time you think about it, you just don't understand. You used to have a love, now you're such a lonely man. You gotta get her back, whatever else you do. She's the only one, just might see you through your broken heart. Broken heart. You're spending every day sitting home alone. You're longing for your baby. Your baby's gone. She didn't give a reason walking out the door. When you're so damn tired of wondering, you can't take no more. You're wishing and hoping it's all in vain. You'd give anything to get her back again. You got a broken heart, yeah. Broken heart. Got a broken heart, man. Broken heart. Yeah, somebody help me. Broken heart. It's all you know. You feel you're going under because you miss her so. You better get yourself together, no matter what it costs. When you're out in stormy weather, it's easy to get lost. You gotta get her back. You're running out of time. Living on the edge. You're losing your doggone mind with your broken heart. Broken heart. Got a broken heart now. Somebody, somebody. Thank you so much, Anthony. Where's Anthony?
He took it out, and I told him not to do it in the first place, but he didn't hear me, and now it's on the other side, and it's fine. Okay, it was the other fan. Tell him to put it. What it is the circuit. It's going to be fine. It's still.
Well, all righty. We'll get back to it here. We're going to do a song off of the Battle Scars record. Battle Scars was a record I did some years back, and I tried to tell a story in music. It's a story about something that happened to me, and if you're lucky, it won't happen to you, but I'll tell you the story. I had a liver disease. It's called hepatitis C. I didn't know I had it, but then when it kicked in, it hit me hard. And they put me in the hospital. They laid me in a bed on my back, and I laid in that bed for 8 months. I lost 120 pounds. I got brain damage. I lost the ability to speak, and I didn't recognize my children or my wife. And at the very last moment, before I moved ahead to that big blues jam in the sky, they gave me a liver transplant, and that saved my life. I got a piece of a stranger right here. But then I got home and the real work started, because all I had done was lay on my back for 8 months, most of it in a coma, you know. So I got home and the work began. I had to relearn how to talk, had to get speech therapy. I had to relearn how to use my legs, because I had not used my legs in 8 months. But also when I got home, because of the brain damage, I didn't know how to play the guitar anymore. It had been wiped clean from my memory. And I'm like, I don't know what to do, you know. My kid handed me this thing, and I went, I have no idea what to do with that. And for a few days, I sat around crying. Then my wife came to me and said, look, dude, I know you. You just start over. Sit down, learn how to play that thing again. So I started from scratch. The same way I did back in 1961. I just sat down on the couch, and I taught myself again from the very beginning. I worked on it every day for about 6 or 7 hours, and after about a year, it came back. And when it came back, my wife said again, you got all this trauma in your head, Walter. You got a lot you need to get out about the experience you have had, and you're not really talking about it. And if you don't want to go see a shrink, maybe you could write a song about it. She gave me that idea, and in 2 days I wrote 18 songs about it. That became the Battle Scars record. Those songs are dark, they're morbid, and they're graphic, and they're depressing, but hey, that's the blues. But we're going to do just one song off of that album for you, and every song on there I thought about something in that experience, and I'll tell you the story of this, and this is an honest-to-God true story. Ripley's Believe It or Not. I'd been in that bed at this point for about a half a year, and it was dark in that hospital. There was no energy, there was nothing happening. It was dark, nighttime, and suddenly above me in that bed, there were these beautiful white lights, these beautiful white light beings, and they were flying around, and I watched them, and I was mesmerized, and then they spoke to me, and they said, do you want to fly with us? And I said, oh, yeah. And suddenly, I was not in my body, and I was white light, and I could see my little skinny, little 90-pound body down there in the bed. And I had a feeling I've never known before or since, and it's indescribable. The best I could describe it is a deep, deep, unexplainable peace in my soul that I've never known. And they said, do you want to come with us? And I knew that meant I would die. And I thought for a second, and I said, you know what? I'm going to fight because I want to be a husband again, and I want to be a father again, and God willing, I want to play the guitar again. And then they said, all right, and suddenly I was back in my body and felt like dog do. But that's what this song is about. I do believe I saw the angels that day, and they asked me to come with them, and I know we're all going to see them someday, but it was a profound, deep experience, and it's the truth. That happened, so here we go. Calling, I can't stand the sound. I can hear the angels, Lord, I can't stand the sound. I want them to believe me. I ain't ready for the cold, cold ground. I see them waiting for me. They say my time is through. I see them waiting. Say my time is through. Want them to believe me. I got so much more I want to do. Well, thank you. That was a happy little ditty, wasn't it? Well, after all the psychodrama of doing that album, and I realized that I was going to survive for a while, I thought it was time to make another record very quickly, but a record that would be a happy record. It would celebrate life, it would celebrate love, it would celebrate friendship, it would celebrate what it feels like when I get to play music with my best buddies up here. And then I got the idea I'd call up some friends of mine and say, why don't you come on in the studio, we'll just jam, we'll push record, and we'll see what happens. I just put out the call, and some of the guys that showed up to play on that album, I can't remember them all, I will try. We had Joe Bonamassa. We had Kenny Wayne Shepherd. We had Warren Haynes. We had Robin Ford. We had Edgar Winter, John Mayall, Sonny Landreth, Mike Zito, Charlie Muscle White. From Canada, we had Randy Bachman. Remember Bachman Turner Overdrive? Eric Gales played on the record. Joe Louis Walker played on the record. Called Jimi Hendrix, but he was dead. Anyway, in the spirit of that record, which is about jamming with your friends, I'm going to bring a young man up here now to play guitar for you. I've known him since he was in the 4th grade. Back then, he was in a band with 2 of my sons. The lead singer of that band was my son Dylan. He was 4 years old, and he was out in the front of the band, and he was singing Highway to Hell. He was singing Smoke on the Water. It was impossible to follow a 4-year-old singing Smoke on the Water. I tried. But I've known this fella since then. He's grown up. He happens to now be our road manager. I want you to give him a big old Erie welcome to young Mr. Anthony Grisham. Go and play guitar for you. Come on. Okay, right now our drummer wants to take a video of the crowd. We want you all to wave. Now go ahead. We're going to start here with a song that we did on that album, the We're All in This Together album, and I wrote this one to do with Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and he came in there and he said, Walter, what's this song about? And I said, this song is about the things I used to do in my younger years that caused me to have to get liver number 2. Things I used to do when I was playing with John Lee Hooker or Big Mama Thornton or Canned Heat or John Mayall or the Righteous Brothers or Lowell Folsom. I can't remember them all. It's all a merciful blur. Anyway, so this one's about the things I used to do that were not so good for me. But I have been sober for 32 years. Let me preface that. So this one's called It'll Feel Good for a Minute, and then it's gonna hurt like hell. Take it around, young fella. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2. You better watch what you've been doing. I believe you know damn well. Watch what you've been doing. I believe you know damn well. It'll feel good for a minute, then it's gonna hurt like hell. I've been there myself. I got stories I can tell. Lord, 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 I got stories I can tell. You know what I'm talking about. It felt good for a minute. Lord, then it started to hurt like hell. Now play your guitar, young man. I think he ought to do it one more time. Come on, boy. Give it up for young Anthony Grisham on the guitar. Well, don't you go buying what they're trying to sell. Don't buy any of it. No, that stuff they're trying to sell. May feel good for about a minute, then it's gonna run out and it's gonna hurt like hell. Play a while, Eric. How about for Eric on the keyboard? Lord, watch what you've been doing. I believe you know damn well, baby. Lord, I believe you know damn well. It'll feel good for a minute, then it's gonna hurt like hell. I know about that shit now, come on.
Thank you.
Well, here's a song. We don't do this one all the time, but when we're playing to a crowd that is as amazing as you guys are, with all this energy and love you're sending up to us, I can feel your spirit. When we got a crowd like you guys, I like to do this song because there is a part in the middle of the song where you get to sing. Now, I only play this when there are audiences who have the spirit and want to do it. And I can tell you're going to sing with us tonight, ain't you? And when it comes in, we want to hear it loud. Because we're going to take the beginning of this song, we're going to do it nice and rough. And then we're going to take the ending of this song, and we're going to do it nice and rough. Sorry, Tina. Let's do it, boys. I can see you lonely. I can see you cry. I know you hide away your tears, never asking why. I know you're looking for refuge, a solitary place. You're looking for forgiveness. I can see it on your face. Come on, fellas, help me now. Open up the window, closing up the store. You don't want to see nobody. You're locking up the door, turning off your neon light. You got nothing left to say. The people that you leave behind, you think you don't need them anyway. Hit it. Playing hideaway. You wanna hide away. Think about the days gone by, but you ain't never going back again. A world without trouble, you know it's never gonna be. And a life without heartache, you ain't ever gonna see. Mr. Johnny Graparik on the bass guitar. Now this is the part of the show where we get some audience participation. The boys are going to show you how it goes, and then I want to hear the people of Erie screaming it so they can hear it in the downtown area. Boys, go! 1, 2, 3, do it! Whoa. Now it's your turn. Come on, let me hear you. That's good, but you can do better. Let me hear it. Oh, you sound good tonight, Erie, PA. Go! Now I want it louder. I can't hear the people in the back. Go! Come on now, scream it! Scream it one more time! Man, you sound great out there today. I'm going to give you a hand, people of Erie, Pennsylvania. I'll tell you what, the next time we're making a record and we need background vocals, we're going to bus you all into LA and we're going to get you all on there, all right? We're going to do the title track off of the album, We're All in This Together here. We're going to let Anthony do a little bit more of his guitar playing for you. Let me tell you something. He went through Huntington Beach High School with my kids. They were all in the music program. He graduated from Huntington. He left the music program. He went off to college, and he came back to Huntington High School as the music teacher. He did that for a couple of years, and he said to me one night, I don't think I want to be a teacher. And I said, you want to go on the road with the band? And he went in the next day and quit, and here he is. Here's the song now. We did this one with Joe Bonamassa, and we sat in a big circle in the studio, and everybody said, how's the song go? And I had written the song that morning with my wife. We'd had some espressos, and we wrote this tune together, and I kind of showed him how it goes, and I said, let's rehearse it one time. And we rehearsed it, and at the end I said to the engineer, did you record that? And he said, yes. And I said, no need to do it again. So what you hear on that record, it's the only time we played it. It's live, it's raw, it's one take, it's spontaneous. It's Joe Bonamassa in my band, and we're sitting around, and everybody's playing their butts off. Here it is. Together, it's so easy to see. We're all in this together. It's easy to see. we won't see tomorrow. That's the way it's got to be. Sing it, Joe. When it's all been said and done, it's up to me and you. All been said and done. Lord, you know it's up to me and you. Black or white, left or right, we all got to do what we can do. Play your guitar, young fella. Give it up for Anthony on the guitar. When we're lost and alone, and it seems so hard to make it through. When we're lost and alone, and it seems so hard. Lord, it seems so hard to make it through. We may be lost in stormy weather, but everybody remember, we're all in this together. We're all Americans, everybody. for young Mr. Anthony Grisham right there. Woo! We're going to do one here. It's off of our latest album, Survivor Blues. And along with trying to find some forgotten songs, I also tried to find some forgotten artists. Bluesmen who kind of slipped through the cracks and they never got the recognition that they deserved. And I found this fella, his name is Floyd Lee. Floyd is still alive. He's about 100 years old now. He lives with his brother in Ohio. He doesn't play music anymore, but for many years, Floyd Lee and his friend Joel Pollock were street musicians in New York. They played in the subways, they played on the street, they played wherever they could set up, put a hat out and ask for some money. They never got the recognition. But somebody recorded them, and I got a hold of the recording, and I heard this song, and the song moved me. It reached me, it grabbed me by my heart and my soul, and I thought, I got to record this song. And we put it on the album, and I managed, through the wonder of the internet, I managed to track down Floyd Lee and let him know that, hey, we're going to put one of your songs on an album that's going to be released all over the world, and you're going to get publishing money. And he said, you mean I'm actually finally going to get something back from music after I gave my life to it? And that felt really good to me. Here's his song. It's called Red Sun. Sitting on top of the mountain, looking out over the sea. Sitting on top of the mountain, angels are talking to me. Ain't no rain for days, clouds are all just passing by. Ain't no rain for days now, river all run dry. Look out! Sometimes I wonder why I seem to be the way I am. I can't ever think about it. That's just the way it is. I got an angel feather in my pocket. Yeah, take me far away. I got an angel feather in my pocket. It's gonna take me to my grave. Take me to my grave. Take me to my grave. It's gonna take me to my grave. Lord, Lord. Well, we've had a ball playing for you tonight, everybody. Thank you so much. Just before we say goodnight, I got to say one thing, though, and it's now my responsibility that I have been given. My life was saved by a stranger who signed up to be an organ donor. I don't know who that person was, but with that little gesture, signing on the dotted line, I'm here. I'm living proof of what a miracle it is, because basically 5 years ago at this time, I was dead. You have 8 life-saving organs in you. That means when you pass on, should you choose to recycle, you can literally save 8 people's lives in a world gone crazy. You can do something beautiful for your fellow man. But there's other parts, not life-saving, but parts that could be reused. For instance, your skin could go to a burn victim. Think about that. What I'm about to tell you is the God's honest truth. The corneas of your eyes could go to a blind person and give that person sight. Now, that's not just some blues cliche about, giving sight to a blind man. You could do that. So sign up, be an organ donor. Think about it. Do something good for your fellow human beings. I'll keep going. I'll tell you a little more. Right now here in the USA, there's 120,000 people on the waiting list. 120,000 people. Every month we lose around 2,000 of them because they can't get what they need. Now that is a travesty, and it doesn't have to be. So sign up, be an organ donor, and tell them Walt sent ya. Now, how about it for the brothers up here? My buddy, Johnny Graparik on the bass guitar, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Get fucking with yourself one time. Ooh, good God, y'all. Ah. Back here on the drums now, he's been holding the drum seat in my band, and every night he comes out and gives it 150%. He's been with me now for 12 years, every show. Give it up for the incredible Mr. Michael Leisure. And over here, how about this guy? This is the amazing Mr. Eric Robert. And sitting in with us tonight, we had the great young guitar player, Mr. Anthony Grisham. Come on, show yourself.
And Erie, why don't you give it up for the amazing, the legendary Walter Trout!
bless you.